Now, it's been about 10 days since I've uploaded onto this channel, maybe even a little bit more, and you're probably wondering, why the hell is this Will's guy taking forever just to upload onto this channel? And the real reason is this month I got married. I got married to my favorite person that's in my life right now, and I just wanted to take some time to get everything ready for the wedding, everything in advance. I had to get a suit, I had to lose a little bit more weight, you know, I had to start looking good. So I had to put this channel on the back burner, work on my main channel at the same time, and also make sure everything was like correct for the wedding, or for when the wedding starts to happen. And I just had to do everything correctly and make sure that everything was in order before we actually went over to the venue. So today I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody that congratulated me in the comments of one of my community posts. I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody, because obviously trying to write back to everybody is going to be exhausting. So in one big video, I just want to say thank you to everybody that commented saying congratulations. Now I just wanted to tell you my experience with cooking and decorating a venue for my own wedding. Now, in October of 2022, my sister had her own wedding, and around that time she spent $20,000 for her wedding, and I'm kind of cheap, and I was like, I'm not gonna spend $20,000 for a wedding that's only gonna be for one day. So with this venue, I can't really remember how much I paid. Obviously I do remember, but you know, I don't want to put that business out there. I paid an X amount of money for the venue for 3 days. So we would be able to sleep over at the venue, and then we would also be able to decorate slowly instead of having to do it all in one day. I actually got the venue. It wasn't really a venue, it was actually a house. It was pretty big, to be honest. But I got it off of Verbo, and that was probably the hardest part of this whole experience, is trying to find a place to do this. Because every place that you look at, they say that they allow parties, or they allow different bridal showers or different events, but sometimes you'll go and write those people and they'll say like, oh yeah, it was a slip up, forgot to take that off of the listing. Or they would just ask you how many people are going to go there and then just ghost you. That's exactly what's happened the whole time. But I finally stumbled upon a place that was pretty nice, and it was over on the eastern side of my state, which is great because it was like a center point for where now wife, obviously, she lives outside of state, or lived outside of the state. So it was like a center, or like a middle ground for all of her friends and family to come, and all of my friends and family to come. So it was like a nice little middle ground where we can all just link up and then just have the wedding and then just have fun. And then it wouldn't be too stressful for anybody that was driving there, or anybody that felt like they had to drive an X amount of time just to get there. It was actually pretty nice. The venue was beautiful. I was really happy that I was able to get the venue for the days I wanted it, but it was a little bit difficult because you had to have a minimum of 3 days to get the venue. Like, not to get the venue, but you had to stay a minimum of 3 nights in order to get the venue. So that was one of the catches. This venue was in a really rich area, and before I even looked at the comments, I actually reached out and actually bought the venue already. And I didn't realize that some of the comments were saying that like people in the area don't like the owner, and how if you're having a wedding outside, then people will drive past the apartment, or not apartment, people will drive past the house and beep their horn because they don't like the host of the house. And I think that's pretty messed up. I mean, I never experienced that the whole time that we were there, and it was pretty nice for being there for those 3 days. And nobody really came to the door. Well, nobody actually came to the door at all. And even when the wedding happened, nobody beeped, nobody called the cops, because that was another comment that people said, that people were calling the cops on them because of the loud music. And everybody just had a great time. The venue, we had it for 3 days, and starting out it was a lot because we had a lot of decorations that we had to bring from the 3rd floor of our apartment all the way down to my car, and then bring it all the way to the venue, which was like an hour away, which was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot because it took quite some time just to get there, especially with traffic. And also you had to take everything and put it inside and try to find a place. And then we also had to talk to the host to get the keys. It was a lot, and you couldn't check in until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it definitely gave us like a deadline that was a lot greater than what we would have expected. That whole day, we thought it was kind of gonna be a breeze, and I definitely should have started putting stuff in the truck before that day, so it'd make it a lot easier. But I didn't think about it. And on the eastern coast, we had a lot of hot days, and you just don't know if anything's gonna catch on fire or melt or anything, because it did get extremely hot throughout these past couple of weeks. But the first day was pretty easy. Of course, it was like a lot of walking up and down the stairs, so it was probably at least 10 trips going up and down the stairs to grab everything that we needed. Then we had to bring our dog, which means I had to bring a whole crate down the stairs, and then the dog was going insane the whole entire time she was there because it was a new place. And setting up was pretty difficult. That was one of the things we already took into account, because we're doing all the decorating ourselves, we're saving money on that end, and we didn't really spend too much money on decorating. And then all the decorating stuff that we have, we can just use it for future parties. And that's something that we both talked about, is that we wanted to get things that we could use for future parties once we get a house. So that was something that we both agreed on. And then going to the venue, I was kind of like a little bit nervous that there would be issues with people being upset about like having a wedding there, because again, it's like a really rich neighborhood, and I just, you know, you don't want that issue where people come up to you and you don't even own the house and you're just somebody that's using the venue, and then they say like your music is too loud, or they try to call the police because you don't own the estate. So then they're just coming up to you to try to like yell at you. It was just an issue at that point. Nothing really happened, but again, that was just on the back burner of my mind. We finally get there and bring everything over after the second trip, and that took until about 10 o'clock at night, and then I still had to slave away and put things inside the house, which was a lot, again, a lot at like 10 o'clock at night. But the next day was a little bit easier. You know, my dad came over, we helped cook. I did all the cooking because I used to be like a sous chef for a restaurant before I took off on YouTube. Well, I was a sous chef for a restaurant, then I went into a warehouse, and then I went to YouTube. So then, you know, cooking was, I was retired cook, but you know, I had to bring it back just for this one event. I was making chicken française, which is like a lemon chicken dish where you kind of like cook fried chicken, but it's not really fried chicken because you cook it in the flour, then you put it in an egg, and then you put it in the pan, and then you put like lemon all over the chicken. It was decent. A lot of people liked it, but I didn't realize the amount of chicken that I bought by accident, because I didn't realize that a big case came in with 4 like big bags of chicken, and then I had my dad butterfly it, which means you just cut it down the middle, and then you cut it all the way down the middle, so then you'd flatten it. Those chickens, I think it was like about 50 pounds of chicken that I got. It turned to 100 pounds. Wait, no, that's not how it works. So it turned to like at least 200 pieces of chicken that I had to fry off, and then they didn't have any pans, so I had to bring a pan from home to actually cook all this chicken. And there was only 3 pieces of chicken that could fit on this pan at a time. And then I didn't realize, I was being stupid, that I would have to cook all this chicken fully, but for some reason that night, or that whole entire day, I didn't cook it all the way through. I only cooked it until it was slightly ready to be done. But then the next day in the morning, I had to cook the chicken fully through, which kind of was a waste of time because I could have just cooked it all the way through the first time. But I also didn't want to make it dry. That's the thing. I made steak, I made potatoes, I made a bunch of other things as well, but all the rice and potatoes and everything I had to cook the day of, because obviously cooking potatoes a day before is kind of gross. You would kind of wouldn't want something that was cooked a day before. Like chicken and steak, you can have it a day before, or like halfway ready a day before, but like vegetables, potatoes, rice, all that stuff doesn't take that long to cook. And this is a big venue, but they had small oven spaces, which is kind of insane because we had to take everything that was full pans and we had to split them in half pans and then put them back into full pans. So that was an experience. But I just wanted to say that it came out great. 10:30 I was supposed to be getting ready, and then I forgot, and then Felicia, which is my wife's name, she was upstairs already getting ready. So then I was like, I should start getting ready because we had photographers coming by and everything. Got ready, and then by the time I came downstairs after taking a shower, I started seeing cars come into the driveway, and I'm like, whoa, this is happening all too quick. And a crazy experience, because like from the moment I got out of the shower and then got my suit on, everybody started driving in the driveway, and it just seemed like everything was happening so quick. Like right after I came down the stairs to start getting everything ready, then everything started to like pop off. I had to start getting situated. I had to also take pictures with my best man. And then by the time the pictures were done, even more people were showing up. And this started at 1. So everybody started pulling up into the driveway and waiting to come in. So then once everybody was like not even allowed to come in, they could have came in beforehand. But when everybody started to come in, then I was trying to show everybody around, you know, showing them where the drinks were. And then it was time for the wedding. And then we had one of my sister's boyfriends play the music, and the music kind of skipped out when we were walking back from our vows and stuff from the ceremony. And then when we got inside, we were doing this first dance, speeches and everything else. It turned out really beautiful. And then a lot of people said that they all started to cry when we did our speeches, which was pretty nice. They all said that they liked the food. They said that they liked the venue, and they just saw that me and Felicia really loved each other, which was something that they haven't seen in a while. So it was great. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who again congratulated me, but also for watching all the videos, because not only does that support the smaller things like just working on videos in general, but it also supports something super huge like getting married. Like, this was not super cheap. I'm gonna tell you guys how much it was. It was at least like $10,000, around $10,000. Way better than my sister's though, because hers was $20,000 and they only had it for one day, and their food wasn't great. I'm just kidding. She doesn't watch my videos anyways, but it's things like that where I'm blessed to be a YouTuber that makes money and has like a great fan base, because I just like, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to marry the love of my life, and I wouldn't have been able to make like a great wedding out of just working as what I was working with before, without slaving away for like 80 hours a week. So again, I just wanted to say thank you, because again, without you, there is no me. And I've said that since the beginning when I first even had like 20,000 subscribers. Without you guys, there is no me. And you know, I just wanted to say thank you. And videos on this channel are going to be coming out way more frequently throughout this week, and who knows, maybe I'll be moving soon, and then you guys will have another break of no videos on this channel, and then I'll come back and tell you guys I moved. I just wanted to say again thank you to everybody that supported the channel, supported me, supported my wife, supported my living. You guys are just making my life so much more greater than I could ever imagine. Even my wife shouted out YouTube and everything in her speech, and it's kind of insane to see where my life was just a couple years ago without YouTube to where it is now. And I want to make a video on some of the things that YouTubers haven't told me when they started doing YouTube pretty much after this one, because I wanted to give you guys an insight of some things that big YouTubers really don't explain. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.